So, in a nutshell, this bill is relatively simple. It's designed to address the matter that I brought before this committee in interim, which is what to do when a parent is suspected of murdering the other parent of minor children. And after working through a lot of different areas, this bill makes one simple change. It says that if a juvenile court judge, either in a closed proceeding or a public proceeding, it's up to the judge, here's evidence that a parent is the primary suspect in the disappearance or murder of the other parent, that can be used as child abuse or child neglect in order to allow a family member or another interested party to come in and temporarily, not permanently, temporarily take custody of the children. It would be done on a case-by-case decision with the discretion of a juvenile court judge. The reason we're doing a juvenile court is they have the ability to close their proceedings so that the law enforcement could come in and give the evidence that they have without impeding the investigation. So all it is doing is adding that primary suspect language to the definition of child abuse or neglect. It just offers that discretion. I have several people here that want to testify. I know you don't have time for that. And if this was on an agenda item last week and we had some technical problems and it had to be recalled to the Senate, but if we need to do this, I would hope that if we need to do it at your next meeting, if there is one, I'd hope we could be the first agenda item. But that's what the bill does. I have some compelling testimony, but I don't think you have time to hear it.
All right. Okay, we have one question. You represent
Sure.
Yes, I think we need to move to. I think we need to do this at the next meeting. It sounds like that it's well intended, but one of the things that jumped out at me is that although it seemed like a given when you're dealing with murder, but you're still innocent until proven guilty, and one of them just says that you're a primary suspect. So the process has to unfold. So here you are, innocent until proven guilty. Process has to unfold, and yet it could have immediate consequences for just the domestic situation between the family. And so I think the juvenile court has inherent jurisdiction to protect the child while that criminal process is underway. So I do look forward to the discussion. Really apologize to those who came wanting to hear it, to speak to it today. Hope they can speak to us again because we need to hear the testimony, because I understand the issue is focused is how do you protect a child while their parent is under investigation and a criminal process is underway. The child's needs are not stagnant. They can't just sit idle. How do we protect them during that time period, still balance the criminal process of innocent until proven guilty?
Okay. Unless it was Representative Paul.
Was that a motion?
It was not a motion. If you'd like to make a motion, that would be...
I recognize, yes, I'd like to reserve the right to make a motion. I'd like to make a substitute motion that we pass out favorably.
You don't have to make, well, you can make a motion. There's no motion on the table, so it'll just be a motion at this point.
That we pass out favorably Senate Bill 173. And I would love to hear from those who came to testify today. We are running short on time, not only in this committee today, but also short with respect to the number of days that we have in the session. This is a fantastic bill. This bill has, if I understand correctly, has passed unanimously both in the House, both in the Senate committee and on the Senate floor, both on the second reading calendar and the third reading calendar. And with respect to the primary suspect, I don't think we should ever subject a minor child to have to live in a home where their biological parent is the primary suspect, whether they're guilty or not guilty. That is enough emotional distress to the child to pass this bill. So I'm sorry that we don't have a lot of time right now, but in the interest of time, both in this committee and in the number of days we have left in the session, I would move that we pass out Senate Bill 173 with a favorable recommendation.
We have a motion to pass out first substitute Senate Bill 173 with a favorable recommendation. We have a couple of questions to that motion. Representative King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I speak in support of the motion. I think that Senator Weiler has done great work on this. The Walls, which are the family that gave rise to this instance in a very tragic circumstance, have suffered, and a number of them are constituents of mine. I appreciate their work and their effort to make public policy better on this issue. So thank you, and I'll be supporting the motion.
Representative Christensen.
Yes, thank you for that additional background, and I appreciate that as well. It is unusual to schedule something and not have it, but I think because our rule says, and it's in flux right now, that we just have at least one committee hearing. Thank you for the thoroughness of the Senate process that's already brought it to this point. So having said that, I think the motion would be in order and we could go forward with confidence. So thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion before us to pass out first substitute, Senate Bill 173 with the table recommendation. We'll go back to the sponsor.
Thank you. I realize this is a rushed hearing, I have to get on the floor, but to Representative Christensen's point, a person is innocent, presumed innocent until proven guilty in a criminal court of law. What we're talking about is protecting the children while that process is taking place. This would only apply if there are minor children in the home where dad or mom is suspected of killing the other parent. It's a very, very limited scope, and it would be reviewed by a juvenile court judge to ultimately make that decision.
Thank you. We apologize to those who came to want to testify, but this is we can get this thing moving. Back to Representative Hall for summation.
I'll waive.
Okay. Representative Fisher, you don't have something at this point?
I just 30 seconds. Just wanted to echo what the good sponsor just said. Didn't want to leave the false impression that I was opposed to the bill or the objective of it. I'm totally supportive of it. Thank you for your sensitivity to those points.
All in favor of passing out first substitute House or Senate Bill 173 with the table recommendation, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. I'll take one last motion. Motion to adjourn, Representative King. All in favor? Aye.